You are welcome to the Messiah channel. We are an end time channel. We are operating as a ministry in the last days, end time ministry in the last days. Today we are focusing on the blow that occurred in Africa. It's a blow to the Gentile powers. France, as a Gentile power, as a colonial power, as a neo-colonial power, as an imperialist power, is suffering humiliation on the African continent in the same way that United States, as a colonial, neo-colonial, imperialist power, a Gentile power, is also suffering humiliation in other fronts over the world. The world is coming to an end, and the judgment on the Gentile powers has already started. And I believe that the humiliation that France is experiencing on the African continent is part of the judgment. As you are aware, there has been coups in West Africa, in nations that were controlled by France and are still controlled by France through the strings of neo-colonialism. In July, there was a coup in Niger, and that coup in Niger is an expression of the anti-France, anti-French sentiment that is resonating throughout the continent of Africa. Is the resentment that happened in Haiti as Haiti revolted against French colonial rule and slavery in Haiti, the same way the African nations, the black nations in Africa, are revolting against France. There was a coup in Niger in July, and now in August, ending of August, there's a coup in Gabon. Gabon is a West African nation, a small nation that has been blessed with natural resources, including oil. Because they are a small nation and they have oil, people expected that the citizens of Gabon will be enriched and they will be happy. But that is not the case, because Gabon has been ruled by a family, a puppet family installed by France under the dynasty of the Bongos. The first Bongo died, his son took over. They went under democracy, quote unquote, but the constitution was subverted. After running for 2 terms, the son of Bongo, another Bongo, ran, and he violated the order of the day and wanted to prolong the dynasty of the Bongo family. And in retaliation, the soldiers in Gabon have seized power on August, ending of August 2023. And so it is a defeat of France. And France was also defeated in Ivory Coast. And France was defeated in Ivory Coast. But there's a resentment against France in Ivory Coast. And France is trying to hang on to Ivory Coast. But things are not very clear. What happened in the other nations, the French-speaking nations in Africa, are likely going to occur in Ivory Coast. French influence all over Africa is being subverted. They are under a threat. They are actually running out of patience. The African nations are running out of patience against France. We talk about corruption in Africa, and corruption cannot be discussed in Africa in isolation from neo-colonial and imperialist control that the Gentile powers have over the African continent. If you take the case of Angola, Angola is a nation that fought protracted war of independence from Portugal, and after independence, so-called independence, there was corruption. It's no wonder that the daughter of a former president of Angola is a billionaire. I'm not talking about billionaire in African currency, billionaire in American dollars, billionaire in euros, billionaire in British pound sterling. And how come that the richest woman in Africa is the daughter of a former president of Angola, a nation that is languishing in poverty, even though Angola has a lot of oil? It's all because the corrupt African leaders, the puppets, are being put in place, and they are being held by the new colonial Gentile powers to exploit the resources in Africa. And looking at France, France has supported dynastic rule in her former colonies. We're talking about Togo, a nation that has been controlled by the Iyadima family. We're talking about Gabon, a nation that has been controlled by the Bongo family. And we're talking about Cameroon, a nation that has been ruled by the Beya dynasty. All of them are supported by France. I will not forget Zaire, a nation ruled by Mobutu Sese Seko, who was supported by French, and Mobutu looted his country and saved the country's money in foreign accounts. And so France is guilty, and France is under judgment, and France is facing humiliation in the African continent as there's a coup one after the other in Burkina Faso, in Central African Republic, in Mali, and in Niger, and now in Gabon. And experts are saying that Cameroon is next, and the rebellion will go on, and France will be humiliated. And it's because France, as a colonial, as a Gentile power, is under judgment. As a result of the corruption going on in Africa, and particularly in most of the African nations, I'm very skeptical when African leaders are talking about reparation from slave trade and slavery, because I do not trust the integrity of the African leaders because of corruption. How can they control reparation money when they cannot control the money that they get from gold, from diamond, from oil, and from resources that they have in the African continent? How come Belgium becomes, Brussels in Belgium becomes the diamond capital of the world, even though they do not produce diamonds? It's because of the corruption that has been initiated, has been supported in Africa, that allows African resources to be looted, that allows Africans money, Africans financial resources to be plundered and put in secret accounts, European accounts. So you see Switzerland becoming rich because of secret banking policies that allows corrupt African leaders to steal their country's money and deposit in Swiss bank accounts, secret bank accounts, at a time when majority of the African nations whose leaders steal their resources are languishing under poverty. The judgment on the Gentile powers has begun rather The judgment on the Gentile powers has begun, and it will continue. And the Gentile powers will be humiliated. God has appointed a time for the thief to be exposed. God has appointed the time for the cutter to be exposed, and so that the captured will come from captivity. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel and spread the word of the Lord to all the four corners of the earth. If you are living in these times, we are in the last days, and these events are happening because we are in the last days, and judgments have started, judgments against the Gentile powers, including Gentile France. Thank you for watching this video.